Okay, what's up? Welcome to Atlantic Ocean Watch here on YouTube. I'm here at Lynn Haven Inlet where I hang out quite a bit. I'm usually over there at the boat ramp and beach facility, but this time I'm on this side of Lynn Haven Inlet on the Fort. I call it the Fort Story side. And I call that side the Little Creek side because my old base, Little Creek, is over there. They're doing some dredging out here in the Lynn Haven Inlet and also the Lynn Haven River. They're doing some along the Chesapeake Bay there. They got the dredging pipes and all out. Pretty cool stuff to watch. They have different kinds of dredgers in there from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. So shout out to them. I used to work with them when I was in the Seabees a little bit as far, well, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, not here, but at Fort Pickett. Worked with them some at Fort Pickett, a little bit at AP Hill, some at Fort Story, but mostly at Fort Pickett back in the day. Oh, it was Fort Pickett. So we're going to talk about helium escape valves. I'm going to do some voiceover stuff, but I want to show you guys a few of the watches that I have. Some of them have helium escape valves and some of them do not. For example, this watch here I just reviewed has a helium escape valve. This Addie's Dive here also has a helium escape valve, but it's that little button there on the side. That's where his helium escape valve is. This one here, this Teuchmeister is like this one here, and that it actually has a helium escape valve, a screw down helium escape valve, or I call it helium escape knob. And like this watch I had on the program is C Pro, it does not have any helium escape valves at all on it. It's just to a certain pressure. Like I say, I'm going to do part of this video talking, part of it with voiceovers, but basically back in the 1960s or so, when you had the pioneers of watches like, you know, Rolex and Omega and stuff like that, they came up with different ways to basically deal with the higher pressures, obviously, of diving. You know, you have compressor watches, stuff like that I showed on the channel before, other types of watches. But one thing they did for people who are saturation divers, who have to stay down on a rig, although it's not quite like that, but that's the closest thing I see out here. It looks kind of like it, but not quite. That's a dredger. But is like when you would go down so far, you would stay down there for several days, right? Because it takes you, depending on how deep you go, it takes you quite a bit of time to decompress, because as you go deeper, nitrogen builds up in your blood, and if you come back up too quick, you'll get the bit we call the bends and or decompression sickness, and well, you will die a painful death as all those nitrogen bubbles interfere with your metabolism and kill you from the inside out. Very painful. Never had it happen to me, thank God. But then again, I don't dive. So, but one thing that they would do in order to make sure that when they started to surface again, that the crystals of the timepiece, as you look at this Teuchmeister here that doesn't have an escape valve at all, they would have a helium escape valve. Some of the helium escape valves, like this flat one here, once it gets to a certain pressure, it automatically releases some of the gases here in the face of the watch so that the glass doesn't pop out. In the case of something like this here, this crown, screw down crown, will be unscrewed and popped out, the same as on this watch here I just reviewed here on Atlantic Ocean Watch, the same thing. And that's another way that you can release it yourself, like manually. So if you were a diver, you could get a dive watch, for example, that had none of that, but you risk the glass popping out. Or you could get one like this here that has a valve that automatically does it for you, so the glass doesn't pop out. Or you could do it yourself, like this one here, or this one here, with this extra screw down crown, normally located around 10 or 11 o'clock on a timepiece. Unscrew it like you would your regular crown, and that releases allows you to release the pressure from the timepiece. And of course, other watches like this C Pro don't have that. So if someone's like a saturation diver, they'll probably want to get, you know, I'm just saying, probably want to get something, you know, that's, you know, 500 meters like this. I think this Deutschmeister is 1,000 meters. I can't remember if it's this Addy's dive or another Addy's dive that I have. One of them is also 1,000 meters. Let me look and see. I'm 52, my eyeballs are fine, but for my age, but I can't quite read what this is saying. Yep, it says 1,000 meters. So yeah, this is the one that's 1,000 meters from Addy's dive that I reviewed before. So basically, that's like the long and short of it. Just wanted to kind of explain that to you. And let me show you on the watch I'm wearing now how that actually works for the ones you have to unscrew. I'll show you. So you'll unscrew this one, this extra crown, unscrew it like you would your regular crown. If I can get it to unscrew. Oh, it's tight. Maybe I screwed it down too tight. Let me do this Deutschmeister and see if that's going to be a little bit easier. Yep. Okay, so we'll use the Deutschmeister here that needs a battery. For the Ronda quartz in here, it needs a battery. So you unscrew it, pull out on it, you know. When you're done, push it back in, screw it back in, and that'll release the air. This one's more difficult to do. I might have screwed it in too tight last time I used it. And of course, this one here, it has a little round circle there. Once it gets to a certain depth, there's a spring in there, and it's going to allow the release of the air or the nitrogen, so that, again, the crystal doesn't pop out. And of course, you have those that don't even have that, like these. So you might want to be a little more careful with these, but a lot of the modern day ones are probably just fine. But it's nice to know that if you're going to go down super deep, you have options like this that have the screw down helium escape valves. Hopefully yours works better than this one. Or if you don't want to mess with that at all, you can get the ones that already have it. Little hole there built into the side that do it automatically. You never even really notice it working. So however way you want to do it works.
Thanks for watching Atlantic Ocean Watch here on YouTube. I'm also Atlantic Ocean Watch on Instagram and TikTok. And don't forget to check out my other channel called Just Go on YouTube. I'll leave a link to all that in the video description. Thank you for your time. God bless America. And let me know what other watch topics you'd like to see here on Atlantic Ocean Watch on YouTube. Be well.